Welcome to LEAP 24, your platform into new worlds. And can I get another big round of applause for the show that we just saw right now? Allah yansurk ya Muhammad. This is a wonderful opportunity for us to reflect back on this 3 years journey where we have joined hands together, powered by you, talent and technology. We've started 3 years ago a movement, and in this movement, we've made a commitment under the leadership of His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman that we're gonna come together. Indeed, we're gonna change everything. Look at this picture. We started in LEAP 22 and we announced Oracle Cloud, Google Cloud, STC MENA Hub, Aramco Prosperity 7, the Garage, the largest incubator and accelerator in the world, and $6.4 billion. And guess what? In a true LEAP fashion, we only walk the talk. We're gonna come back here on stage and have every single CEO talk about how we made these announcements go live in partnership with you. That's the first rule of thumb. The second one, seeing is believing. Every technological advancement we will talk about today, you can see it live in the exhibition. But let's revisit the key question that we tried to answer. What does it take to leap? We said it takes the ability to move with agility and leap with resilience, powered by talent and technology. And look at these numbers. We have gone a long way. When it comes to the digital economy, His Royal Highness said that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia under Vision 2030 is the most bold and audacious success story of the 21st century. And look at these numbers. We've grown 3x the normal average for the digital economy. When it comes to resilience, while the whole world was facing headwinds when it comes to VC funding with negative 30 to 40%, the Kingdom, under His Royal Highness leadership, we adjusted the sail and changed the headwinds into tailwinds, and we grew by 33%. And let me acknowledge some key partners here who made it happen. Let me acknowledge His Excellency Dr. Majid Al-Qasabi, Khalid Al-Falih, Nabil Koshak and the SVC, and all of our key local, regional, and global investors. We couldn't have made it without your sponsorship. And let's talk about talent and technology, the human capital, the most critical success story that we have grown from 200,000 tech force to 350,000. And let me acknowledge here His Excellency Ahmed Al-Rajhi and his amazing team for a phenomenal job when it comes to growth in talent and technology. And also let me acknowledge our new Minister for Education, who's doing a fantastic job revolutionizing our tech, talent, and youth. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. The story doesn't even get any better than this, but it even gets even more better. Look at this. Look at this slide. We started in LEAP 22 a movement. We grew by 100% and we continued with momentum. And guess what? We have become the largest, the fastest, and the highest success tech story of the 21st century. And within this momentum, we have made more major announcements. But guess what? In these announcements, you're not gonna hear it from me. You're actually, in a true LEAP fashion, hear it from the global chairmen and CEOs. Play the video.
Really, quite honestly, I walk away from here inspired by the change I have seen in the last 6 years. Because you are not just talking the talk, but you're walking the walk in a major, major way. And I think that this beacon, you will be the beacon of what I think is a new development model, how not only in the region, but for the world over. So I'm really excited about it. A region coming to the kingdom, we are very excited about it. This is going to, We are very excited about this. We're going to bring the best technology with multiple availability zones to cover the kingdom. We think that this will not only have the raw infrastructure, but it'll also have the best AI infrastructure.
So our developer academies teach students the fundamentals of coding as well as other necessary skills to find and create jobs in the app economy. There are 17 around the world, and in Saudi Arabia, we launched our first developer academy for women in February.
It is such a dynamic kingdom. Over my last few years, I've observed the dynamic nature of the business, the dynamic nature of the economy, the social progress, all in. I think it's a wonderful time to be here in the kingdom.
You know, we're excited. Next month at the LEAP conference, we'll be making some major announcements about our expansion in the kingdom with manufacturing and supporting the development of the talent base, and certainly, you know, everything in support of Vision 2030.
Our cloud region and our data center is now officially live. Congratulations.
This is indeed our commitment to you. In every year, we're going to come back and demonstrate to you how we're walking the talk, and we're going to have the global chairmen and CEO on the stage, not only through video, but shortly physically making these announcements and demonstrating how we are changing a kingdom, a region, and the world powered by you, talent and technology. This has demonstrated, and as a byproduct of this movement and momentum, how we continue to be the largest tech and digital market, close to a $50 billion market, representing 40% of the market share of the region, and when it comes to VC funding, more than 52%. And on women empowerment, it doesn't get any better than this. We have celebrated last year becoming the highest and most successful story in women empowerment in tech and STEM on planet Earth. And today, we're going to celebrate it on the highest platform for humanity, the International Space Station. Welcome to the stage, the first Arab Muslim woman to the International Space Station from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Rayana Bernawi. Well done, well done. We're very proud of you, and I promise you, we're going to recognize you on the stage, and His Royal Highness is so proud of you. Thank you so much, Rayana. This is indeed making history in action. And on women empowerment, I'm sorry to say this, I have to drill down on it. Because last year, we've beaten the EU average. Sorry to our EU friends, we love you. Silicon Valley average, we love the Valley, you know that, guys. But we continue to be the highest success story. And as we have recognized Rayana, let me recognize the picture next to her, Dima Al-Yahya, who's the General Secretary of the Digital Cooperation Organization. This is an organization that was a dream for His Royal Highness next to the G20 2020 under Saudi's leadership, because there was so much polarization in the world. We recognize that we have to join hands to deliver digital prosperity for all. And with Dima's leadership, following the guidance and leadership and directive of His Royal Highness, today we have 16 nations, more than 500 million population with $3 trillion of GDP. And let me acknowledge some of my dear colleagues, their excellencies from the DC organization. His Excellency, the Minister of Communications from Qatar, Ghana, Bahrain, Jordan, all of you, we couldn't have made it without your partnership. And speaking of Saudi women, they're not only doing coding, right now they're doing deep tech. In partnership with the Ministry of Industries and Investment, we were able, in partnership with HPE and Al empower youth and women to manufacture high-end servers from the kingdom to the region, and we could not be even more proud. But this is all right now in the past, because we're about to talk about the next chapter. In LEAP 24, we are moving from a movement to momentum to the multiplier effect. Because in generative AI, as a general purpose technology, everything is going to change. And we have spoken to all of you of what does it take to leap in the Gen AI era. And you all have shared with us three things. It takes AI leadership, the diffusion of this technology across industries, how we help the people, planet, and prosperity, and with an ecosystem approach. And with AI leadership, His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman have committed all of our resources to help humanity with generative AI. And let's look at the fundamentals behind this narrative. If you look at this specific graph, and let me just simplify it to you, this was done by New York University, and we had our top experts even vetted. This is how you can tell that a technology is enduring. If you look at the academic publications, to patents, to number of earning calls, you are able to predict the curve of a specific technology and to say it is enduring and it's here to stay. This is mobile phones and GPS. They are technologies that are here to stay. If we overlay generative AI, we will see that it stands the test versus things like the metaverse and cryptocurrency. And the second point that I want to emphasize by ARK Invest, that in every general purpose technology and technological change, there are two waves that take place. There's a hardware wave. We all remember in the 90s, when the internet took place, a number of companies celebrated the hardware movement and excitement and overhype. But it was the software and services where 10 to 20x value was appreciated. During the iPhone moment, we all have celebrated the chips that powered up the smartphones. But we have seen it where the Android and the iPhone, the iOS ecosystems and the app economies have created 10 to 20x value. And this is why in generative AI, under His Royal Highness leadership and in partnership with you, we believe it is all about the proliferation of these technologies to benefit people, prosperity, and the planet. This is a story that is near and dear to my heart, and I had the pleasure of showcasing it last Davos. Dr. Ali Al-Hassan have pledged his whole life to tackle sickle cell disease. And thank you, Adam, for coming from AWS, the CEO of AWS, gentlemen. And we have also Bill McDermott, CEO of ServiceNow, and Arvind, the CEO of IBM. And as we have said, in a true leap fashion, we're going to have the CEOs walk the talk on the stage. But going back to this story, sickle cell disease, it impacts 20 million people, where the red blood cells unfortunately turn into a sickle or a crescent, and they cause loss of limbs or lives. Under this revolutionary breakthrough, leveraging large language models, Dr. Ali Al-Hassan was appreciative to correlate the relationship between proteins and enzymes and be able to reduce the drug formulation from 15 years to 2 years, but more critically introduce a cure and a treatment that is non-invasive. Because the traditional cure causes us a lot of chemo and radiotherapy that is unfortunate. So this is how large language model under Saudi's leadership in partnership with you, we're doing it to help the people, tackling the most pressing issues. On prosperity, we have 3 entrepreneurs from the UK, Canada, and Pakistan joining us. And I want to thank their excellencies and their ambassadors for joining us from these nations. They chose the garage to launch their generative AI startup, out of which they have committed to infuse 10x productivity for the back office and the front office. And it's no wonder within the garage, their valuation jumped from $1.5 million to $80 million in less than 60 days in the garage. Last but not least, Optimal PV, how we have partnered with our energy sector. And let me give a big thank you to His Royal Highness Prince Abdullah bin Salman and the energy sector. Not only they have energized Leap, but in every specific transaction that we announced today, and in this specific instance, it's a large language model that looks at the correlation between spatial imaging, satellite imagery, and the ability to deploy PV panels. this is, again, just the beginning. Because under the leadership of His Royal Highness and in partnership with Aramco, we said that it's all about the diffusion of these technologies in industries, and it gives me great honor, and Amin is going to talk more about it, to announce Aramco's largest industrial language model from the kingdom to all industries, Aramco's Meta Brain. This LLM is powered by more than for more than 90 years, with 7 tokens of public and proprietary data, and with 1 trillion parameters by the end of the year, and 250 parameters today. And again, seeing is believing, and you can see it in the Aramco booth, and you'll hear it from the Aramco leadership. But Aramco is joining hands with one of the revolutionary technologies that I think it's best to hear from the founders in this specific video about how they're joining hands with Grok to build one of the largest AI inference capabilities for the industrial age.
Here's something interesting.
Everybody's talking about Grok.
Everyone who is trying Grok hardware seeing such an amazing latency.
This is Grok. It's like ChatGPT, but insanely fast.
And you know what? Rather than hearing about Grok from me, why don't we hear it from the founder of TPUs in the world and the founder of Grok, Jonathan Ross.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you. So Jonathan, I think what you're introducing to the world reminds me of shifting from dial-up to broadband. Tell me more about it.
Yeah, so what you're seeing there is the fastest LPU chips in the planet. They can actually
So
run...
what are LPUs for our guests?
They stand for language processing units, and they're designed for inference. Once you train the model, you have to then run the model, and that's where we come in. And I want to thank His Excellency Al Swaha for bringing me today. You actually invited me not just in the last 2 weeks where we blew up on Twitter, but we met about 5 months ago.
Indeed.
And you came to our office, and then when you saw this, you invited me to join your keynote 4.5 months before the rest of the world understood what we had. And I want that to sink in because you have the vision here to know what good looks like and to make your own decisions. And that's why I'm here today. And I also want to thank Aramco, who we're also working with.
Thank you, Amin and team. Amazing, amazing job.
And so we like to say that when things are exceptional, you don't have to talk about them too much. So I'm just going to say one last thing about this, which is, when we decided to come here, we were very excited about the opportunity. And we started Grok in Silicon Valley because there was opportunity. But AI runs on compute. And as you deploy this compute here, I think this could be the place where the opportunity is going forward.
You heard it here first. In Leap, new product launches. Thank you so much, my dear friend. Thank you, thank you. So I know I'm a bit running out of time. My team keeps reminding me, so I'll be a bit quick. On the ecosystem, last year, we announced the largest generative AI accelerator, Gaia, Generative AI Accelerator. And this year, in partnership with you, we've decided to take it to $1 billion under the sponsorship of His Royal Highness. And we also focuses not only on the first C of the 3 C's, capital, human capital, and capital-intensive infrastructure. We are, in partnership with you, want to translate from that 350,000 tech force one of the largest momentum of reskilling and upskilling data scientists in the region with 10,000. Out on infrastructure, this is even better. Last year, we celebrated one of the largest and highest investments in cloud infrastructure in the region. Today, in addition to all of the announcements, we're proud to bring AWS to the kingdom. Thank you, Adam, my friend. And with this announcement, the kingdom today is the only nation in the region that have all hyperscalers. Thank you so much for making this happen. Thank you. This is all, let me stand here. This is all made possible with the guidance and leadership of His Royal Highness, and we cannot be more appreciative for his guidance and support. And in collaboration with you, the kingdom today is your platform to leap into new worlds. Let's talk about some of the big announcements we're making today. Last year, we announced around 9 billion. That was beating Leap 1, that we announced 6.4 billion. This year, close to $12 billion, powered by AWS, IBM, ServiceNow, Dell Technologies, Aramco, and DataVault. And in a true Leap fashion, you're gonna have the CEOs talk more about them. I can't wrap up my speech without doing two things. One is a full appreciation for some of the key entities that made Leap happen. And secondly, I will close in Arabic for our beloved women and youth. Let me first acknowledge Faisal Al-Khamisain Al-Ittihad for their tremendous support and leadership in making this happen. Also, we have a key strategic partner this year that fueled up the entrepreneurs and the SMEs, more than 1,500 of them, and more than $7 billion worth of funding and VCs in the region. Dr. Majid Al-Qasabi, thank you so much, Your Excellency. I have to thank my team, MCIT, you're doing a fantastic job. And as they say, leaders eat last, so we're gonna thank you later. But I wanna thank our strategic alliance partner who brought Deep Fest to Leap, Sadaya. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, Abdullah Sharaf. Ministry of Energy, you keep powering up Leap. Media, Interior, didn't they do a fantastic job getting more than 200,000 people to this event this year? Thank you so much for your tremendous, and for the digitization story that we're very proud of. I have to thank Invest Saudi for making every investment opportunity happen today, Digital Saudi, and Visit Saudi. Guess what? Yesterday they celebrated 100 million tourists in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This is Vision 2030 in action, and this is our commitment to leap in partnership with you into new worlds. And I'm gonna close in Arabic. سمو سيدي ولي العهد ذكر بأن المملكة العربية السعودية أعظم قصة نجاح في القرن ال21 وأهم عنصر في النجاح شباب وشابات المملكة العربية السعودية. بيض الله وجهكم. السلام عليكم.